Okay, you should be able to hear me now. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I checked it, and it did show it. But you can hear me now. That's all I care about. All right. So, I'll start that over. There is a comic, and this is why I always tell people, okay, people confirm it, good. This is why I tell people all the time, make sure you know what you're talking about when it comes to purchasing any comic. Because I was going through eBay, because I always look for any kind of steal out there, because you never know, there could be one that even I can afford now. And I saw a book. It's a Mega Key Silver Age comic, and it seems like a too good to be true price on this comic, and I wanted to share it and see if you could spot what is wrong with this comic, if anything, so it could show that you really do need to research what you're buying, because there are people out there. Just remember, there are people who will, when I show this comic, there are going to be some people that know automatically, and that's good. But I'm referring to the people that are new to the hobby or don't do the research. They may not know what certain initials are, and they may not be able to spot on the cover if there is something that is not what you thought it was. So I think videos like this are very helpful in trying to stress that if you are going to buy anything, whether it's investment or just for your own personal interest. Because even if you bought this comic I'm about to show you just to read it, I mean, if you spend 10 times what it's worth, you're not going to be happy. So let me show you, but like before I show it, I want to make sure you guys sign up for the cashback program. I did post the link in the description. It's in the live chat as well. Stay until the end, so this way you can get today's surprise subscriber shout out. I'm going to list two because Harvey, one of my moderators, mentioned this and I forgot. I'm going to do from now on 2 surprise subscriber shout outs per live chat. If you are one of the surprise subscriber shout outs, if you have a YouTube channel, you could post the link, or if you don't and you'd rather put your eBay account link or your Instagram account, I'll leave it up to you. Of course, I do have to verify them to make sure they are appropriate places to go. And if anybody sees those links, that means it has been approved. Go check them out and give them a like, a sub, or maybe purchase one of their comics. And if you're one of my moderators that you see in blue, every time you are in the live chat, you can post your links. Or again, if you have Instagram or somewhere else you want to mention instead, you are more than welcome to do that. All right, so let me put on the camera. Okay, so you could see. Now let me show the book, and let's see if any of you can spot what the problems are. Okay, so here's the book in question. Now, I'm not saying the seller is lying or being deceitful, but they are not giving full details, which means it leads it for the possibility of somebody purchasing something that they thought was something that it wasn't. So, as you can see, the title of this is Avengers number 4, GRR, Higher Grade. Now, if you want to put in the live chat or in the comment section, any of you know what GRR means, which I do, post that. Now, again, I get many new people into comic collecting on my channel. So, there are people who may not know what that means. And that's a big deal, because let's scroll down to the description. And all it does in the description says slight browning, tanning, upper left ding, some stress but not too many, storage wear, expect imperfection and or damages, please inspect photos carefully, could benefit from a clean impress, and there is nothing else as far as information. So they do not in the description tell you what GRR means. Now again, I know what it means, and I'm going to explain that in a minute. But there may be people who do not know. All right, so let's assume you assume this is Avengers number 4 from the 1960s, which is a very key issue because this is the first Silver Age appearance of Captain America. I'm going to slowly go around, and I want you to tell me if you see anything that seems different from what an actual copy of the original is. So I will slowly go around. If you spot it, and I'll show the back of the book. Let's see if he has... Okay, so I'll show the front and back. So you could see, if you were not knowledgeable about this book, it looks legit. I mean, it has the old advertisements and everything. So again, I'll show another image, and then I'm going to explain what this book really is, because this is important. And this is what I want to stress. Please do your research. Know what you're investing in. Because if you were somebody that said, wow, I just saw an Avengers #4 first Silver Age appearance, and you can see this book, and here's the bottom half, you could see this book is in really good condition. This book would be multiple thousands of dollars if this was the original of this Avengers #4. And you're seeing it Canadian price of $400, which in US is $309. Shipping $20, which in US is roughly about $15. You'd say, wow, that's a steal, because I can't even get a 0.5, and this looks like it could be higher than a 6.0, which would be in the thousands, and somebody might buy it. So, if you did not spot it, let's first see if anybody spotted it. Okay, so there are people that did spot it. So congratulations to those who actually found both problems. Okay, so we're going to go with Avengers #4. What is GRR? What that means is it's called Golden Record Reprint. Now, they abbreviate that, which makes it more difficult for somebody who is unaware of what that is to understand what that is. As you saw in the description, they do not elaborate what GRR means, or it does not state this is a reprint. What happened was, there were books, like for example, Journey into Mystery 83, and there are others where they did a record and they included a comic that looks eerily similar to the original, but is a reprint. Now, how else can you tell if you did not know what that meant? Well, if you notice here in the top left-hand corner, notice underneath the faces where it says Marvel Comics Group, right there should have been the price of 12 cents. So if you see, for example, like I said, it also is Journey into Mystery 83. There are other books that have these golden reprints as well. So if somebody tries to scam you or just doesn't know, I don't want to assume everybody is a fraudulent seller that does this. This person may not know. But if you see a book, price-wise, that's too good to be true, don't just buy it. Make sure you give it a look, because if you do not see that 12-cent price tag right underneath where the faces are, where it says Marvel Comics Group, that is a good indication that it is a reprint, the Golden Records reprint. So GRR is not a good way for a seller to fully disclose what this is. And again, I will scroll down. So again, I'm not assuming they're trying to scam somebody, but this information, if you don't know what you're buying, you could end up spending a lot of money. So they're saying this grade is a 7.5. You're talking probably $2,000 to $3,000 for that book. So if you're saying, wow, a 7.5 of the first Silver Age appearance of Captain America for around $300, probably about $320 when you add the shipping, you'd be like, that's a steal. But they do not mention in the description at all that this is a reprint or elaborate what that GRR means. So if you're not aware of what that means, you may assume that this is real and this is genuine and this is a first print and you just got a grail for a steal, only to find out that you probably overpaid for this book and it's not what you thought it was. So this is something crucial as an example, because like I said, I'm not going to assume this person was being fraudulent. Some people may just not know, or some people may just be lazy, Or maybe there are people who just assume that everybody knows what GRR means, and you are to know that the 12-cent price tag is missing, and figured they'll find out. Well, that is not what they call in law, in contract law, what they call full disclosure. So whether the person was being willfully deceiving or willfully ignorant, it is your duty as a purchaser to know what you're buying. And if somebody ends up selling you something that you did not take the time and effort to research, and you did not verify it, because let's say you get this book, you still don't think there's anything wrong with it, you hold it in your possession for a year, and then you decide, you know what, I'm going to get this book graded. You send it in, you spend all the money to whatever company you send it to get it graded, it comes back as a reprint. Now you have no recourse. So not only did you spend the money on a book that wasn't what you thought it was, now you just spent money on grading fees, and finding out you just lost hundreds of dollars on a book that most people are not going to want and is not anywhere near the value you thought it was going to be. So I think this is something that is crucial as an example that people out there do not always give all of the information when it comes to selling. Whether that person was deceitful on purpose or just didn't know, I don't know. But it is your responsibility as a purchaser to take the time and effort it takes to know what you're investing in. And again, even if you bought that book just to read it, if you overspent on a book thinking it was something it wasn't, you're not going to be happy. And this doesn't have to just be about comics. It could be about stocks. It could be about stamps. It could be about car parts, skateboards. It doesn't matter. If you don't know what you're buying, there are people who may take advantage of you. And as bad as that may be, it is your responsibility to know what you're buying, or at the very least, to ask questions. So instead of just saying, oh, I saw that comic, that's a steal, let me buy it, ask them, I'm sorry, I see you wrote GRR in the title. Can you please explain what GRR means? Now, this may be basic entry-level stuff for comic collectors like myself that have been doing this for a long time. But there are new people all the time, and you cannot assume that everybody that collects comics, reads comics, invests in comics, knows everything about every single comic. So I don't want to assume everybody knows what the GRR meant, would not even know what a golden record reprint is, or its value. And this is why I stress all the time, do your research, know what you're talking about, put in the effort. If you are not willing to put in the effort to do research, you should not be investing in anything, because you will lose more times than you will win. Now, it's like the roll of a dice. Every now and then, if you roll the dice long enough, your number will come up. But I promise you, your number will not come up as many times. Your number will not come up more times than it will. So don't go by, well, I did this, that, and the other thing, and I succeeded every now and then. For every book you succeed doing no research, you will probably have 10 that you will fail. And by fail, I mean lose money or end up with something that you did not think it was. So don't base it on that fact. And also keep in mind, you could do everything right, you could know everything, and somebody could be trying to mislead you or be dishonest. There's nothing you could do about that. But if, like, for example, you bought this comic and then you realized it was not what you thought it was, well, you can return it. If the person was lying and you spot it, you can return it. And I've given examples. Like, I bought one of many Hulk 180s, which is the first appearance of Wolverine. It's his first cameo appearance, but it is his first appearance. I don't understand the controversy on that, but everybody loves 181, but that's his first full appearance, and he is on the cover, so I understand why it's more desirable. But Hulk 180 is the first appearance of Wolverine ever. And in that book, there is what's called a Marvel stamp. It's also in 181. That Marvel stamp is about 1 inch by 1 inch. And if you don't know about it, and that Marvel stamp has been cut out, and that has happened many times, if you don't check the book, and that Marvel stamp is missing, you could lose hundreds of dollars depending on the grade in value. And I remember one time that I purchased one on eBay. They showed pictures on the eBay auction of the Marvel stamp in the book. So when I got it, I could have assumed, well, I saw it in the picture, it must be there. No, I made sure when I got it, I opened it, I knew what to look for, and it ended up, the Marvel stamp was not there, and in fact was cut out, which means the seller tried to be deceitful and took a picture, a random picture of a Marvel stamp, and placed it in their auction, hoping that the person wouldn't check. But because I knew what to look for, I made sure I verified and was right. And then you have recourse. If you wait over, it's either 30 or 90 days for eBay, but it's up to 6 months with PayPal, if you buy with PayPal, to be able to return something. After that, you're stuck. So if you don't know what you're doing and you're not willing to put in the time and effort, situations like this, where you see this comic and it looks like the original because it is extremely close, except for one minor detail. Let's just assume this person just put Avengers 4 first print, high grade. Well, if you didn't take the time to look at this tiny little thing right here, the Marvel Comics Group, and you did not know the original had a 12-cent price tag, and you assumed everything they said was true, well, you just ended up overpaying, or at the very least, not getting the book that you thought it was. Like, again, if this is a 7.5, you're talking multiple thousands of dollars. You've now just been cheated out of all of that money that you thought you got. So I thought this was an important video to show people, to reiterate what I say all the time, and that is make sure you do your research. So I want to thank the 30 people that were kind enough to hit the like button. I know there are plenty of people that will see this video and be like, oh, I know that. I know what GRR means. I know automatically this is a reprint because it didn't have the 12-cent price tag. Well, not everybody is going to know about that. So if you are a person, especially one of my power viewers or ultra power viewers that watch from beginning to end, if you did not know about anything I mentioned, please put it in the comment section to show people that we cannot assume that people like me and others who are very well versed in the comics, we should never assume that everybody knows it just because we do. And that's why I make videos like this, because I think it's very important. So if you appreciate this kind of information and you feel, even if it doesn't help you, if you think this video can help others, please take the time and effort to hit that like button to show that you appreciate what I try and do to help this comic community keep themselves from being disappointed and frustrated. Because if you invest in something and you don't put in the research and you get burned time and time again, what's going to happen? You're going to get discouraged, you're going to give up, and you may even leave the comic book community. And that ends up hurting us all in the long run if people start going away. And we don't want that. So let's pick today's surprise subscriber shoutouts. Again, I'm going to pick 2. If you are picked and you have a YouTube channel, you can post the link in the comments section. You can also put, instead, if you have a Instagram account or a Facebook post or anything, if you want to do one of them, you could put the link and I will approve it. And even if you have an eBay, if you sell stuff on eBay and you want to promote that and it helps you get a sale, if it's approved, that means you could click on it safely and it won't bring you to some porn site or something. So any of my moderators can do that as well if you are in the live chat. So the first of the 2 will be Larry Novikov, and he says, when buying raw, even from seemingly reputable online stores, have an LCS you trust, look at it ASAP upon receipt, unless you really think you're a grading expert. That's very good advice. So if you have anybody in your local comic book store, now keep in mind, they may not know either, because just because somebody works at a comic book store does not mean they're a professional. You know, trust me on this. I've seen many person that just they're behind the counter at a comic book store. They're just working there because they want a job. And many of them don't know about comics. So be careful about that as well. I always say, there's an old expression that says, if you want something done right, do it yourself. So, I mean, yes, it would help when it comes to restoring, because even I can't spot some of it sometimes. sometimes a professional can help you there, but be very careful. You never know, if you go to a local comic book store and you say, here, can you look at this book, and they don't know what to look for either, well, then if they tell you it's fine, they're not going to lose out, you will. But it does help on average to ask maybe an owner, because an owner of a local comic book store would most likely, at least I hope, know more about a comic than maybe some of their employees. So don't be afraid to ask questions. All right, so that is our surprise subscriber shout out number 1. So congratulations, Larry. We're going to go back a little bit, and we're going to go with Dark Helmet 09. You are today's second surprise subscriber shout out. So if either of you are still in the live chat and you hear that your name was called, if you have an YouTube channel, you could post the link in the comment section. You can post your Instagram instead, or you can have, if you have an eBay account, you could post that instead. I will approve it, and if you see the link, that means it's been approved. Go check them out. Maybe buy one of their products if they're on eBay. I don't get a commission or anything. I'm just doing it because it's a nice thing to do. Subscribe to their channel, or if anything, check out a video, because I promise you, there are people who appreciate it. If anybody could share my channel, I'd help it. I've been stuck at 8,000 and I think 80 subscribers for the past 2 months. It goes between 76 and 82, and I can't seem to get past that for some reason. My subscriber count has come to an absolute halt. So if you know anybody that could benefit, or you think would enjoy my channel, if you could promote it and help, that would appreciate it. The likes do help as well, but I always appreciate those that come here to watch my videos. So yes, I have about 8,000 or so subscribers, and 34 are watching, and I appreciate the 34 that are. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this. To my power viewers that watch from beginning to end, I thank you so much, and I hope this has helped somebody out there. So let me know in the comments section. Thanks for putting up with the fact that there was no audio in the beginning, and don't forget, it's not you, it is not I, it is we love comics. Have a great day, everybody. I will see you next video.